As gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Gosar.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rowe, you made a great comment, making sure that skill is cool. And I think that's really important. I want to go back to something that was actually said by Steve Jobs and reiterated by Ashton Kutcher. Success looks like a lot like work. Work looks a lot like a job, and a job looks a lot like success. No job is below me. I never left a job without having another job. So the will to work directly leads to the American exceptionalism and to the rebuilding of the American dream. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, yeah. We're obsessed with what you do. We ought to be obsessed with how you do it.
I'm going to take it to another story. I got to commemorate a skate park. Doesn't seem like it has something to do with this, but there was this gentleman by the name of Rob Dyrdek that was out there, and he was in his hat and his glasses and his shorts. And he said, I am the American dream. It's because I had opportunity. Not that that I succeeded at first. I had opportunity all the way around being given to me. And I finally found success. But we're running out of opportunity. I think what you made comment to is that we have to tag people, young people, in to know that there is opportunity. And your PR is exactly that.
We're talking about Job Corps. The problem with Job Corps is that 98% of the country's never heard of it.
Yep.
Skills USA, 400,000 members. 98% of the country's never heard of it. These kids convene every year to compete in disciplines that Sean's entire business is predicated on. Steam fitting, pipe fitting, carpentry, welding. The Boy Scouts of America we've heard of. They introduced the welding merit badge last year. It's in the top third of all popular badges already. They're building inroads. Future Farmers of America, by the way, don't even want to be called Future Farmers of America anymore because the word farmer has become such a pejorative, it's negatively impacting their ability to recruit. So now they're the FFA. PR matters. Job Corps needs better PR. Boy Scouts, FFA, Future Farmers, that's the connective tissue that came out of, in many ways, they're picking up the slack that occurred when Votech left high school. That's where the action is right now. And we ignore them at our peril.
Well, we have the golden opportunity because you see all these shows about putting antique cars together and rehabilitating houses. We just have to connect the dots at the high school level and junior high level with Votech. I mean, I'm from Western Wyoming. I was required to take 2 years of welding, so I've never left that torch. Even though I went to dentistry, and when I take that torch to a person, they don't care for it. The opportunity, the opportunity is that my parents always said that you always have a job. It comes back to that Steve Jobs aspect of being incorporated. We're almost there because we see the fascination with how to do it. Mythbusters, all these things. Is what we have to do is we have to choreograph and make that skill cool at high school to get them to go along that pathway. Would you agree?
I'd say that all the dots are there screaming to be connected. The youth organizations I just mentioned, the shows you just mentioned, people are hungry for it. To your point, your dad was a lineman, all right? So last year, the industry introduced National Lineman Day. I didn't know about it, but somebody gave me a heads up, and I wrote a nice post on my little Facebook page, went to bed. I posted a picture of me in Wyoming at the top of a pole with a real pro. It's a great picture. You see what looks like half of the country behind us. Anyhow, I posted this. I went to bed the next morning. 1.3 million people are interacting with this post. They love it. And people are anxious to say thanks. They just really don't know who to direct it to. But they know something's wrong. Something's disconnected. The average American will get it. They just have to see it. And we got to show it to them.
Well, and I think the other thing is the lower debt ratio to student to success is the Votech education. We have seen it over and over again. So what we have to do is cue kids into this because a lot of kids see things mathematically different, and see how the application goes. They're visual. They say, okay, how does counting change matter to me? Well, when you put it into a car and rebuilding a car and the facts of how you rebuild it makes a big difference along those lines. One question my kids love your show. Isabel and Gaston always watched it. So if there was one memorable moment that's applicable to this committee, what would it be in your history on the show?
Applicable to the, well, you know, it's just all things are
They all
energy.
are.
But I would say the first time I worked on a wildcatting rig, I don't even remember if it was Oklahoma or Louisiana, somewhere really close to both. But watching those guys, it was almost a mix of construction, Cirque du Soleil, and just a giant dare. They worked as a unit, they worked as a team, and you could literally, I had a front row seat to watching what it takes to get the energy out of the ground. And following that through the process is something that, I got so many letters too when that episode aired, because again, it goes to that idea that people are willing to make the connection, but you have to show them in an empirical way that their lights don't come on, their car doesn't move, civilized life as they know it stops, but for those people on that platform. That's the trick. That's how you pay a tribute, and that's how you engage your viewer.
Thank you very much.
I thank the gentleman, and